What it do, people? Well, good morning. Y'all, I want to explain to y'all about when I say words are alive, right? Because it sounds crazy. I say the words are us without the skin. We are the words with the skin. If you remove the skin, then we are what the words are, and the words are what we are. This is how you become one with the word. The skin suit is the veil. Now, you have spiritual learning, lessons, living, and the same goal as for the physical. The physical are the things you got to work at. You got to use your hands. You got to bend over. You hurt your back. Your muscles get sore. You stressing. You're going through this. You're going through that, right? Spiritual, you're in the conscious world. You're thinking more. You're focused more. You're not letting things get to you. You're very aware of how you react to things. Your main focus is on changing, is on becoming a better thinker, a better person that can deal with things. There is a difference in the living. Now, physical, you need a hammer, you need nails, you need heavy equipment, and you need workers. Spiritual, your hands are tied behind your back. You cannot use your hands. You need focus. You need mood. You need intent. This creates a vibration. This is how you align yourself with the words. Now, let me tell y'all the first word I met. This is how the words are alive. One day, for about 6 months, I could not sleep. Every time I fell asleep, I would hear knocking. It would sound like somebody's knocking at the door. I would get up, go to the door, look out the peephole, don't see nobody, so I'm not opening the door. I'm from the backwoods. I'm from the old school. If you don't tell me what you want outside that door, if I don't hear a voice, I will not open it, right? So I got enough sense in that way, because sometimes you hear knocking and you go straight to the door and you open the door. Well, not me, because you don't never know what you're letting in. If you can't tell me your name, what your purpose is, that door will not get open. Spirit knew this. So Spirit was having fun with me. Every time I fell asleep, I heard knocking. This knocking would make me do this. And it began to get irritating to the point where I would speak out loud at it. Like, I would go off. I would cuss it out. I would be like, leave me alone. You would think I was going crazy. Now, spiritual living. Y'all ignore that phone. Spiritual living, you're going to have to pay attention to your surroundings, the things that are happening to you, mainly the stuff that you can't explain, something you can't put man as the person that's orchestrating it or creating it or making it happen or is the reason why it's happening. Man can't have nothing to do with it. If you want to see God, you got to look in the spaces, not at the lines, but you got to look in the spaces. It's things happening in the spaces, like the knocking. Who was doing the knocking? Why was the knocking so obsessive? Well, one day, me and my sister was sitting at the table, and when we get together, we be talking about God. When I say spirit be all over us, when we be having these conversations, we be having revelations. I'm talking about it be on fire when both of us get together. Boy, we could burn the devil kingdom down, right? So this one particular day, only me and her was there. And I was telling her about the knocking, like I can't get any sleep. Something in the spirit realm keeps bothering me. I could fall asleep riding in the car and something will knock on the window, but there's nobody there on the window. Every time I attempted to get in a deep sleep, I would be waking up. So while I'm in the midst of telling her this, all of a sudden I hear something go boom. And we both look at each other. Nobody's home, just me and her. So we looking for the source of the sound. Something led me to the bathroom. And when I got to the bathroom, a picture that been hanging on the wall for a couple of years, never ever, no one ever bothered this picture. It was on the floor. But the thing about this picture is it had nails holding it up, but it looked like something took its hand and slapped it out of the wall, because the sheetrock was all messed up. The crumbles of the sheetrock was on the ground and the nails were bent. This is how much force whatever hit that picture did to make that picture fall down. So when I picked up the picture, it was the word faith. I had the word faith on a nice picture in the bathroom. So I start saying faith, something knocked faith down. So immediately you go carnal, you go physical, and we forget about the spiritual stuff, and we think it's a demon in the house. We think, you know how us people do when we hear a noise or something, we ready to exorcise the demons. So me and her done got holy oil, we done got the Bible, and when I was finna start rebuking and binding and getting that thing up out of my house, something told me not to. This was a message for me. So I told her not to do it. I feel like whatever this is this picture. It's telling me that it did it. Like this picture did it. And so I looked at it and I said, faith, faith. And then I hear laughter inside of me, right? And I just kept thinking, when you grab a hold to a word, the word will transform you. The word will convict you. The word will convince you. The word will explain itself to you. The word will actually begin to reveal things to you. But it's like in a telepathic way. You sort of just know, right? So I said, this word, faith did this, like, and I said, ooh, you think the person messing with me or the entity messing with me is actually faith? Because it was just one word on there. And somehow my mind put that together. I thought about my hearing. Faith comes by hearing. And by hearing the word of God, right? Faith is the evidence of the thing that's hoped for, but it's the unseen thing that's hoped for. And I thought about my teachings in the Kabbalah, where it says the word faith created our ears on our body, gave us hearing. So I said, oh man, I think faith is talking to me. So as time went on, we didn't do anything, right? I kept seeing the word faith everywhere. Faith just kept on popping up. So one day I decided to speak to faith, to actually treat faith as if faith was my sister, and just begin to speak to her like I would speak to anybody else. And you know what she told me? She was waiting on me to talk. She been wanting to talk to me for the longest. And she told me that she was the one doing all of the knocking. I said, why so much knocking? She said, I had to check your hearing. I had to be sure that you can hear me. Y'all, ever since then, I see faith in different places. I see people with the word faith on their clothes. I hear people talking about faith. I can actually see faith standing out. Like, I can spot faith. I can tell when faith is active because I have a relationship with faith. So my relationship with faith has gotten so strong to the point where when I'm doubtful, she won't let me doubt. And this is how you recognize faith in your life. When you have believed on something for so long, talk to it. Because the thing you seek is seeking you. Talk to it. Tell it that it's here. Tell it that there are no obstacles, nothing blocking the way. Just come. You've cleared the way. Everything's fine. Just come and arrive. Talk to the things that you asking for because it's a word. It's named something so it can hear. When I want to give up, I can actually hear faith say that wouldn't be a good idea. Look how long you been calling on this thing. Look how much you done put into it. Look how much belief you done put into it. Don't give up now. When I want to give up, faith will not let me give up. When I want to throw the towel in, faith will not let me throw the towel in. When I say, you know what? It's taking too long. This ain't worth it. Maybe I'm not, worthy enough for something like this. Maybe I asked for something bigger than myself. Faith will get me straight and tell me it ain't nothing too hard for God. Faith will throw the word of God in my ear, and faith know how I feel about the word of God. I'm gonna obey. So when faith start talking to me, faith talks to me with love. Faith doesn't talk at me, but faith assures me. It says, no, this wouldn't be a good idea. Don't say that. That wouldn't be a good thing to say. Change your mood, Tasha. Don't react to this the same way you used to react to that. This is your faith talking to you, y'all. When you want to go off on somebody, and you feel like, you know what, they deserve it, but faith to tell you, you know what, don't do that. Because once you go out, you ain't going to be able to stop going out. Once you engage in this, it's going to take a whole nother turn. It'll even say, is this really worth it? Do you really want to go there? Like, can you look at it in another way? Do it have to be this way? Faith is your friend. Faith is the person, the woman, the man, the energy, the being, the consciousness that won't let you give up in the things that you hope for. And it will remind you what you asked for. Faith will remind you why you want this thing. And faith will even tell you why it's a good thing that you're asking for. And faith will tell you that it's coming. It's coming. It might seem like it's taking a long time, but things are working out. People are being put in places. Don't do that. Don't give up. No, no, no. And then sometimes my faith will defend me, and I don't have to open my mouth. I don't have to say anything. It's like I could be sitting up here and I hear a negative thought come, then I hear a positive thought. Just tell that thought down. I don't been on open my mouth. I don't been on said nothing. It's like faith is my protector. Faith is making sure that doubt stay away from me. Faith is making sure that I don't engage in doubt. I don't play with doubt. And then when doubt try to get in, faith will make a situation happen where I'll see that it's best to listen to faith. Faith will show me that she was not lying, that she was telling the truth. Faith will give you evidence. Faith will give you confirmation. Faith will jump in somebody else's mouth and somebody else will come and tell you, You've been thinking about such and such and such and such, and something telling me to tell you such and such and such and such. That wouldn't be such a good idea. You came a long way. Faith, y'all. Faith is a friend, not just a word on a piece of paper. Sit down and talk to your faith. Sit down and ask faith to encourage you. It's something when you're trying to encourage yourself, but that's faith job. Let faith work. Let faith do what she do. And I call her a she because in the Apocrypha, faith is the boy. Faith is the one. Faith is the mother of it all. Faith is like the family of righteousness. Like she is the head of righteousness. Faith, you need faith in everything that you do. Faith is the reason why. Faith is the know-how. Faith is to get the job done correctly. Faith is going to assure that your things come without trouble, without hurt attached to it, without pain, without red tape, without you having to spend all of your money up. If you wait on faith, if you get to know faith, if you personalize faith, if you put skin on faith, make faith like you. Because remember, we are the same. The only difference is we have the skin. But you can use your imagination to put the skin on the word that you want to serve, the word that you want to follow, the word that is speaking to you. See, I don't follow faith. Faith follow me. Faith be talking to me. Me and faith have a relationship because I learned that faith is not something that I can do. Faith is something that already is. Faith is a be. Faith is already here. Faith is already done. Faith is what it is. You can't add to it and you can't take away from it. That's what make faith belong to God. That's what make faith so real and so pure. Faith don't jump ship. Faith don't get attitudes. Faith don't get moves. Faith don't cuss you out. Faith don't give up. Faith don't give up on you. When it's something that's good for you and you ain't strong enough, just say, faith, can you be my strength? Faith, can you be my belief? Faith, can you help me through this waiting period? Faith, can you assure me that this thing is happening? Faith, I need to hear from you. And when I tell you, you'll hear a song on the radio. And the verse, it might be a small verse that's an answer. You could be riding down the street and see a billboard with words on it. That could be the answer. Somebody could just walk up to you and tell you what God's had them to give, a message to give to you. Faith is everywhere. Faith activates the unseen. Faith makes the evidence where you can grab it and touch it and feel it and use it. Don't just have faith. Be with faith. Get to know faith. Let faith work for you and you stop trying to be faith. Faith. See, we be trying to be these words and we're not the words. The words are the words. You are spirit. So you pick the word. You follow the word. You favor the word. And that word will show you wonders. Now, hanging out with faith. Can't you see why God said don't bring no change purse? Don't worry about what you gonna eat, drink, or wear, or where you gonna live. Because you're following a word. This is God's word coming from him coming to you. It said faith come by hearing. Meaning faith come by. Faith come knocking. Faith come to you. Meaning faith is sent. Faith is sent. It's not something that just there. Faith is sent to you. Ask God for faith. Tell God you need faith. Tell him you need right now faith. You need comfort in faith because it's all different types of faith, y'all. But I just wanted to strengthen somebody. Maybe your faith is weak because you're trying to be what faith is instead of letting faith be what it does. If you get where I'm coming from. I love you.